Today we're ranking 25 cask strength bourbons for those that like their whiskey with a little heat.
From budget bruisers to top shelf powerhouses, we'll tell you which bottles are worth the burn and which ones just burn.
And if you're brave enough to drink barrel-proof bourbon, you might as well look good doing it. Check out our Barrel Hunters t-shirts. We've got parody tees, seasonal tees, and the ever-timely You Can't Handle the Proof tee.
They're soft, they fit great, and it's the best way to support our channel. Head on over to the link in the description with a 10% off code for your first purchase.
And if that wasn't enough, we also want to thank you guys because we just hit 10,000 subscribers. We appreciate all of your support. We obviously couldn't do it without you, so keep those likes and comments coming.
And to mark the occasion, we'll be hosting a live stream on Wednesday, January 14th. More details to follow, but come hang out with us, bring a drink, and ask us anything you want. Can't wait to see you there. Now, it's time to feel the burn.
Kicking things off with number 25 is Chattanooga 111. This thing is Tennessee heat in a bottle. It's a Tennessee high malt bourbon, meaning that they use a higher percentage of malted grains than most distilleries. That gives it a nice toasty, biscuity note up front, but the complexity and the finish doesn't really completely stack up against many of the heavy hitters on this list. So I gave it a 79.
Now I appreciate what they're going for. The high malt mash bill and open fermentation make it very unique, but it still feels a little young in the glass. The proof brings some punch, but not quite enough depth to keep it in my regular rotation. And this is exciting because we are kicking this thing off completely in sync as I too gave it a 79.
There you go.
Now that obviously averages out to a 79 overall, landing Chattanooga 111 squarely in the C tier. Coming in at number 24, we have Old Ezra 7 Barrel Strength. This is a bold release from Lux Row that clocks in around 117 proof, and it drinks every bit of it. You get a ton of oak and spice right up front, but for me, it leans a little too heavy on the heat and loses some balance along the way. I give it an 84.
Yeah, it definitely comes in hot, but I actually like that level of intensity. It's dark, it's rich, it's toasty, and that long flaming finish reminds me that this is a barrel strength bourbon made for tough and rugged men like myself. I gave it an 89. Between your 84 and my 89, that averages out to an 87, putting Old Ezra 7 in the B tier. Number 23 is Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. This one is another one with big proof and big attitude. You get caramel, oak spice, and a touch of vanilla, but unlike my experience with Old Ezra 7, it's a whole lot of heat for not enough depth. It punched me hard, but I like the beating enough to give it an 80.
It starts off strong. Heavy oak, rich color, good texture, but by the third sip, I was almost on my ass and it kind of lost the nuance. It's powerful, but not exactly polished. I gave it a 76. Between your 80 and my 76, that averages out to a 78, which lands Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered in the C tier. Up next at 22, we got a mouthful. Holladay 6-year soft red wheat Rickhouse proof. Now this one has been getting a lot of love on other whiskey channels, but honestly, I don't totally see the hype. I mean, it's got a nice mix of honey, vanilla, and oak, and I like that it's wheated and full proof, but the balance isn't quite there for me. I give it an 80.
Oh, I get the hype, Ryan. It's a delicious wheated bourbon with significant caramel notes to balance out the heat. The red wheat brings this smooth, rounded sweetness, and with all that going on, I gave it an 86. Just 6 points higher than you.
Yeah. You get the hype.
Between your 80 and my 86, that averages out to an 83, which puts Holladay's 6-year soft red wheat Rickhouse proof in the B tier. Number 21 is Redwood Empire Pipe Dream Cask Strength. This expression from Redwood Empire has been one of the most talked about craft bourbons lately. It's nutty, rich, and full-bodied with a ton of oak and baking spice. I enjoyed it, but it's one of those bottles that doesn't quite stack up against some of these other barrel strength bombshells. I gave it an 83.
Yeah, look, Redwood Empire is doing some great things. I love that they blend their own stock with sourced barrels, and the flavor complexity shows. But this one leans a bit minerally. Good pour overall, just not a home run. I gave it an 81. Between your 83 and my 81, that averages out to an 82, landing Redwood Empire Pipe Dream Cask Strength in the B tier. Up next at number 20, we've got Blue Note Juke Joint Uncut. Now this one has kind of become a sleeper hit. It's affordable, packs a punch and delivers solid flavor for the proof. You get brown sugar, roasted nuts, and a really nice oak backbone that makes it drink way above its price point. I gave this one an 86.
Yeah, Blue Note's been popping up all over lately, and we've seen quite a few store picks from this one that takes it up to another notch. Those tend to be even better, so if you can find one, go for it. Great everyday pour if you want something with a little heat. I gave it a 90. Between your 86 and my 90, that averages out to an 88, putting Blue Note Juke Joint Uncut in the B tier.
And these names are
These are some long names.
ridiculous.
It's like high proof, long names.
Yeah. Cask strength piece of
Yeah,
bottle.
that's exactly one of the ones that we're covering next. Number 19 is 13th Colony Cask Strength. 13th Colony has some great expressions, and the Cask Strength hangs with them, but it isn't quite at the same level. It has a dark, rich color, heavy oak, and a caramelized sweetness. It's bold and flavorful, but I've had more well-rounded experiences drinking bold bourbons, so I'm gonna give this bad boy an 82.
It's definitely one of those pours that makes a big first impression, but doesn't quite hold it together. Tons of oak and char, plenty of proof, but the more you drink it, the more it leans bitter and dry, and it's just okay. I gave it a 74. With your 82 and my 74, that averages to a 78, putting 13th Colony Cask Strength in the C tier. Up next at number 18, we've got New Riff Single Barrel, Barrel Proof. Now I appreciate this one for what it is. A true craft bourbon that doesn't hide behind fancy branding. It's spicy, bold, and full of character, but it comes in a little hot and doesn't quite smooth out with air. I gave it a 79.
I love New Riff, but I agree. This one drinks like a rough kick to the nuts. This one's got plenty of rye spice, caramel, and orange peel, but it stops just short of the balance that you want from a great single barrel. I gave it a 78. Between your 79 and my 78, that averages out to a 79, which puts New Riff Single Barrel Proof in the C tier. Number 17 on our list is Jefferson's Reserve Cask Strength. This cask strength really surprised me. We've definitely poo-pooed some other stuff in the past, especially that whole Age That Sea line, but this one is different. It's rich, full-bodied, and has that caramel, oak, and spice combo that just works. That proof gives it some real substance without going overboard. I gave it an 88.
Yeah, this one impressed me too. It's elegant, but still has that real pop of flavor. Really smooth up front, a little fruit and toffee through the middle, and a really clean finish, which made me want more. I gave it a 90. But with your 88 and my 90, that averages out to an 89, putting Jefferson's Reserve Cask Strength at the upper end of the B tier. Up next at number 16, we've got Frey Ranch Farm Strength Uncut. Now this one is easily one of the best examples of a true farm to bottle bourbon. You can taste the quality in every sip. It's rich, balanced, and packed with flavor, but still drinks smooth for the proof. The grain character really shines without feeling raw or young. I gave it an 88.
Yeah, Frey Ranch keeps proving that craft distilleries are the backbone of American whiskey. Their farm strength Uncut is creamy, layered, and has that brown sugar and cinnamon profile that I love, all wrapped in a blanket of deep oak. I gave it a 91. Between your 88 and my 91, that averages out to a 90, with me saving Frey Ranch Farm Strength Uncut and putting it in the A tier.
Look at you coming in trying to act like a savior. I tried to save Jefferson's.
No, doesn't deserve it.
We got Judge Jerry, the executioner here.
Number 15 on our list is Still Austin Cask Strength. In my opinion, Still Austin is where it's at when it comes to Texas whiskeys. Their cask strength has some baking spice, dark fruit, and toasted oak notes that I very much enjoy, but this one does run a little hot and a touch too young on the finish for me, so I gave it an 82.
I think what works here is the balance. There's plenty of Texas richness without getting swampy or overly oaky. Good texture, lively spice, and it drinks above its age. I gave it an 85. Between your 82 and my 85, that averages out to an 84, putting Still Austin Cask Strength in the B tier. At number 14, we've got Penelope 4-grain Barrel Strength. Now this one brings some nice variety to the glass. The wheat softens things, the rye adds a little bite, and there's kind of a buttery sweetness running through it. But the flavors never totally sync up. It's solid, just not cohesive. I gave it a 78.
Oh, Ryan, I disagree so much right now. I think the mix works very well. You get this smooth vanilla base that's drizzled in caramel and then a little pinch of salt in the finish. It's approachable, flavorful, and drinks way easier than the proof suggests. So I gave this little hunk of love an 85. Between your 78 and my 85, that averages out to an 82, which puts Penelope 4-grain Barrel Strength well deserved in the B tier. Lucky number 13 is Stellum Cask Strength. Stellum comes from the folks behind Barrel Craft Spirits, and they make some really good barrel strength whiskeys. As for Stellum, it's got spice, oak, and solid heat, but it's actually one of my least favorite products from barrel. It's good, it just doesn't hit that wow moment that you'd hope for at this proof, so I gave it a 79.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I felt too. You can tell it's well made, but it drinks a little linear. Big spice up front, then not much else. It's clean, it's fine, but it's not one I'd find myself reaching for often. I gave it a 75. Between your 79 and my 75, that averages out to a 77, putting Stellum Cask Strength in the C tier. Coming in at number 12, we got a heavy hitter. Blanton's Straight from the Barrel. This one is a bucket list pour for a lot of people, and I get why. It's classic Blanton's turned up. Rich caramel, roasted nuts, and oak for days. It's definitely better than the regular Blanton's, but that premium price tag makes it a tough sell. This might be a little controversial, but I gave it an 85.
Ryan, when we blind tasted 12 Buffalo Trace products, Blanton's Straight from the Barrel stood out to me. It's bold, complex, fruity, and full of that deep brown sugar and baking spice that you want in a higher proof bourbon. Putting price aside, I think this is one of the couple of quintessential barrel proof sexy mamas on this list, so I gave this little bundle of joy a 95. Between your 85 and my 95, that averages out to a 90, which puts Blanton Straight from the Barrel in the A tier. Should have been in the S, but I digress.
That rhymed.
I'm the cat in the hat.
You are.
Number 11 on our list is Stagg. Every year, Stagg reminds me why barrel-proof bourbon is so addictive. It explodes with cherry and dark chocolate, brown sugar, and that Buffalo Trace oak punch. It's hot for sure, but it's got flavors that make it worth every bit of that proof. If you like high-proof juice, this has to be on your shelves. I scored this Creamy Love bottle a 97.
Creamy Love bottle? Yeah, it's one of those bottles that just gets it right. It's big, rich, and layered without feeling unbalanced. You get sweetness, depth, and a finish that hangs around forever. It's Stagg doing what Stagg does best. I give this a 96.
Oh, I'm so glad you didn't screw that one up, Ryan.
Between your 97 and my 96, that averages out to a 97, putting Stagg solidly in the S tier.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Stagg. Yeah.
Up next, at number 10, we've got another one from the Buffalo Trace lineup. This one is E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. Now this one feels like a masterclass in balance. You get that signature Buffalo Trace sweetness, layered caramel and oak, but still drinks way smoother than a proof should allow. This is one of those bottles that lives up to the hype. I gave it a 96.
This is another one that blew me away during our blind tasting. I didn't like E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof when I initially tasted it, but during our blind, I got big flavor, great texture, and a long finish. I'd be a hypocrite if I poo-pooed it after it practically changed my life in the blind, so I gave it a 93. Between your 96 and my 93, that averages out to a 95, which puts E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof in the S tier. Number 9 on our list is Four Roses Single Barrel Barrel Strength. This is one of those bottles that I appreciate, but like I've said in past videos, there is something about that Four Roses herbal flavor profile that doesn't quite do it for me. This is all subjective, but I'm trying not to let my bias against Four Roses products guide my ranking. I can appreciate its complexity, and I'm gonna give it an 88.
That is true, but when you get a good one, it's elite. There's this perfect balance of caramel, red fruit, and baking spice that just flows. It's complex. It's the kind of pour you can sit with for an hour and still find something new. I gave it a 95. Between your 88 and my 95, that averages out to a 92, putting Four Roses Single Barrel Strength in the A tier. Up next at number 8, we've got Old Forester Single Barrel Strength. And man, is this one a powerhouse. Big cherry, big oak, and brown sugar right up front with that classic Old Forester heat that hits you fast. It's bold, but still manages to stay balanced. I gave it an 89.
Old Forester Single Barrel Strength has tons of flavor, tons of proof, but it never feels out of control. You get all that banana bread and spice that Old Forester is known for, just turned up to 11. Guess what, Ryan? I also gave it an 89, so we are in sync once again. With both of us giving it an 89, that lands Old Forester Single Barrel Strength squarely in the B tier. Number 7 on our list is Bullet Barrel Strength. Bullet Barrel Strength is good if you like that bullet barrel profile turned up, but for me, it doesn't quite hang with the other bottles on this list. Its nose provides caramel, spice, and oak, but once you taste it, there's not much complexity, I gave it a 72.
Same here. It's bold, but there's not enough flavor behind the burn to make it worthwhile. The base profile is there, but it's missing some of the richness you'd expect from something labeled barrel strength. I gave it a 75. With your 72 and my 75, that averages out to a 74, putting bullet barrel strength in the C tier.
Number 6 on our list is Angel's Envy Bottled in Bond Cask Strength. Angel's Envy created a scientific marvel with this bottle. This thing is both bottled in bond and cask strength. A whiskey has to be bottled at exactly 100 proof to get that bottled in bond label, and it's almost impossible to be at barrel strength at 100 proof. But Angel's Envy, somehow they pulled it off. You get layers of dark fruit, brown sugar, and all this spice, and it's all wrapped up in a silky texture. And I love what they did here. I absolutely appreciate a once-in-a-lifetime bottle, so I gave it a 95.
And also what's cool here is that this is their first real foray into unfinished whiskey. No port barrels, no extra layers, just straight bourbon done right. It's balanced from start to finish with deep flavor, great structure, and a long finish. I gave it a 90. Between your 95 and my 90, that averages out to a 93, putting Angel's Envy Bottled in Bond cask strength in the A tier.
I wanted it on S. Number 5 on our list is Booker's. Booker's will always have a spot in the conversation when you talk about barrel-proof bourbon. It's bold and full of peanut and caramel and oak. I'll be honest, I think some of the older batches hit a little harder than what we're seeing now. It's still a classic though, so I will give it a 91.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Booker's used to have this rich, oily depth that's been missing in recent batches. Still a powerhouse, still distinctly Jim Beam, but it doesn't always deliver the same magic it once did. I dropped this one a little lower at an 82. Lately, Booker's hasn't been hitting it the same way for me.
An 82, my goodness gracious.
Yeah, with your 91 and my 82, that averages out to an 87, putting Booker's in the B tier. And we want to hear from you guys. Do you think Booker's is still what it once was, or do you no longer enjoy it as much as you used to?
Yeah, let us know in the comments below how crazy Ryan is today.
I'm on a heater. Up next at number 4, we've got Larceny Barrel Proof. Now this one has quietly become one of the most consistent heavy hitters out there. It's wheated, rich, and always brings that caramel, toffee, and oak combo that hits just right. Even the lower proof batches pack great flavor. I gave it a 90.
Yeah, this bottle is finally getting the respect that it deserves. The wheat makes it creamy, the proof keeps it bold, and it finishes with that warm, buttery sweetness that feels like classic Heaven Hill. I've loved pretty much every batch that I've tried, and I am gonna give it a 94. Between your 90 and my 94, that averages out to a 92, which puts Larceny Barrel Proof in the A tier. For number 3, we have Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. With Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, you get that deep caramel, oak, brown sugar, and a little bit of smoke. Every batch has its own personality, but the quality has never dropped, as far as I know, so I'm gonna give it a 91.
Yeah, this is one of those bottles that sets the standard for cask strength bourbon. It's rich, balanced, and delivers full flavor without being super chaotic. You can tell it's built with experience behind it. I gave it a 93. So your 91 and my 93 averages out to a 92, putting Elijah Craig Barrel Proof in the A tier.
Number 2 on our barrel proof list is Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Rare Breed is consistently great, full of caramel and spice, and you could grab it pretty much anywhere. It's another quintessential barrel proof powerhouse, and it hits all the right notes for what a high proof bourbon should be. I gave it a 93.
For me, this is the definition of dependable. Every pour gives you that classic Wild Turkey profile. Brown sugar, orange peel, a little toasted oak, all perfectly balanced at that mid 110 proof range. It's easily one of the best values in bourbon. I gave it a 40.
That sounds about right with you. That wouldn't surprise me one bit, Ryan.
I gave it a 95.
Oh, wow. Full on S tier.
Yes.
Okay.
With your 93 and my 95, that averages out to a 94, putting Wild Turkey Rare Breed in the A tier. Last but not least, coming in at number 1 on our list, we've got Maker's Mark Cask Strength. Now this one is pretty much as reliable as it gets. It's wheated, it's approachable, full of that sweet caramel and vanilla profile that Maker's is known for, just tuned up a little bit. It's not the most complex pour, but it nails consistency and value. I gave it an 84.
Yeah, it has big flavor without a big bite. It has that creamy texture and that signature Maker's sweetness. I think it's better than the price suggests, so I gave it an 88. Between your 84 and my 88, that averages out to an 86, which puts Maker's Mark Cask Strength in the B tier. Do you have a favorite barrel proof bourbon that we missed? Let us know, and while you're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe.
In the meantime, you can check out one of our other tier lists on the screen right now. Until next time, thank you and cheers.